Yo, what is up? Welcome back to another stream, another video here. If you're watching the video here, we're going to be discovering in real time what our build is going to be here. So that'll be exciting. I realized we forgot to roll the dice last week. See, this isn't even going to fit this stuff. Alright. That's not even going to fit all of it. Yeah, we forgot to roll the dice and see what we're going to be building this week. So it is a mystery. We'll find that out in just a moment. Still getting my workspace tidied up a little bit here. Have to bear with me. There's random pieces left over here. Well, let's see what we got here. Oops, something I forgot to clear away from our previous dream set. So last time we built the Mr. Oz's space bus, and we are going to be adding to the list Dreams Set Rebuild, but I haven't so I'm going to get out the instructions for the Nightmare Shark ship and back it up to where the alternate builds are for those, and we're going to add that as something that can be re-rolled, but I haven't actually gotten around to doing that yet, so we are going to roll here before we do that. But we've got some good options here, so let's see what we get. That is a 2, which is a reroll. That is a 5. The 1989 Batmobile. Okay. Sick. We've got that right here. Bam. So, this is what we're going to be working on here. So let's get all this stuff updated here real quick. This should be a pretty fun one. Images, not the only Batmobile that we have in our list here, but this is the one we're going to be building today. Very cool. All right. Yeah, this is out of stock on the website. I think this is a retired set now, as a matter of fact, but we bought this to build here, so we're gonna build it. We don't care if this is a sealed product here. That is not what we're here to do. Let's rock that like that, and then this is going to be 76224 Batmobile Batman versus the Joker. Put it like that. Yeah. Lock those up. Boom. All right, we're in it. 4 minutes into the video and we're already ready to build. That's better than I thought we'd do with how messy my desk was when I came in here. It's still messy. It's just messy over here. So, let's see here. Bust this open. Should I save the box on a set like this? Maybe, but probably won't. Probably won't. It was already kind of scooched up there, so. Alright, we got 4 bags here. We are definitely going to be able to get this all done today. So let's, okay, we got a couple of decals here. We got an instruction booklet. Okay. Nothing much special in this one here, just a regular old instruction booklet. Sometimes the idea sets and stuff like that will have, like, you know, some text or stuff like that that shows like the design process, or, you know, things such as that. Don't have that here, so we're just going to get right into our build here. Starting with our Batman, 1989. So this is Michael Keaton then, and Jack Nicholson, Joker. Oh. Gotta open up this cape first. There we go. We don't get the full rubber cape in this one, which I think would be more accurate to this vehicle here. We got a grappling gun here, it looks like, as well as some batarangs and handcuffs. But let's make this grappling gun, because this is like an actual build. Okay, there we go. Give them a batarang here, and then maybe we'll put the handcuffs on Joker later or something. There he is. There's our guy. There's our guy. I was just having a conversation about Batman with my roommate the other day, about how, you know, Batman was always my favorite superhero growing up. Had Batman the Animated Series on the air when I was a kid. Great animated program that I think still really holds up and has some really great art direction in it. You know, despite being a show that's like, you know, suitable for kids to watch, it's actually like, it still remains a pretty solid piece of television in my opinion. Pacing's a little slow, as you know, you got kids trying to follow along with the dialogue and stuff like that. But the art direction is really special. So grew up with Batman being my favorite, but as I've gotten older, I am a little more critical of Batman as, like, you know, a character. Like, he's pretty much just a rich guy that beats up you know, mentally ill people. So it's a little bit of a tough look for Batman these days. But, you know, I mean, superhero stuff is not the real world, right? And we can realize that, like, these characters are not necessarily, you know, espousing values that would be functional in the real world. Their reality is different than ours. It is more black and white. It is more extreme. ideologically. Evil is evil, you know. So you kind of got to take it at face value. But it is good to think about that. I mean, kill your heroes. Like, you should try to, examine not only the characters and media that you enjoy, but also, like, who you respect and look up into in the real world. And it's always good to be continuously introspective about that kind of stuff. But yeah, Batman, I would still say, is probably still my favorite superhero, though. Like, I'm not as big into superheroes as a lot of people are, honestly. I've watched a good amount of the MCU and things like that. There just kind of became cultural touchstones that it was kind of hard to get away from, honestly. But growing up, I was always more into DC characters. But even then, I wasn't like an avid comic book reader. I just had, what random stuff kind of came through my orbit as a kid. I wasn't like go to the comic book store every week and get the new issue of detective stories or whatever. I did get more into comics in my adulthood, but then it's, I more got into like sci-fi and horror comics than superheroes. You could make the argument that the Swamp Thing is my favorite superhero, but the way that character is written in Alan Moore's run, which is really what I'm most interested in, is, to call that character a superhero is like a bit of a stretch. I mean, those stories do take place in the DC universe. I mean, Batman shows up early in that run. But that's not really the vibe of those comics. They're still like a horror comic, I would say, first and foremost. And really, like, the way that comic progresses, it ends up being almost like a philosophical examination of the nature of reality. So it really gets away from the superhero thing. But so as far as just like true superhero stories go, wow. As far as like, okay, no, that's great. We don't need to know about how you start your day. I don't remember what I was saying. Superheroes, they're cool. My gosh. Would you call this ambient? I disagree. This is what we want. Okay. Very cool. How many times will I get annoyed by those songs being on the ambient list before I remember to just skip them entirely? Who can say? Maybe you'll be here when it finally happens, It's possible. But as far as the cinematic interpretations of Batman go, I would say that these Tim Burton movies are definitely at the top of the pile for me. I mean, I do like the Christopher Nolan movies. Heath Ledger as the Joker is pretty undeniable. It's a really great performance. from someone who passed far too young. And the role that getting into that character had in affecting Heath Ledger's mental health is I think gonna forever tie him to that performance even more than he already would have been, just because of how stunning of a performance it is. But that is more the focal point of that movie. Like, I don't dislike Christian Bale's Batman interpretation or anything like that, but as far as like a pure Batman story, I just do enjoy the Tim Burton ones. I think they have a little more of a camp element that serves them well. Got some decals here. I think that campiness really does aid those movies. But the Christopher Nolan trilogy is, I would say, a pretty close second, and they're tonally different enough that I think, it really just does come down to a matter of taste. I think they're both high quality interpretations of the character and the franchise. So I wouldn't fault anyone for picking one over the other. And I'm even a pretty big apologist for the Joel Schumacher Batverse stuff as well. I mean, I enjoy all of the Batman movies to an extent, just because I like the character. But they definitely vary in quality. Like, if I'm being, objective, they vary in quality for sure. All right, we got some shiny silver plates here. They don't look very silver in the instructions, but there's a little sparkle up there in the corner to tell us these are metallic pieces. They almost look like this color in the instructions, but that's okay. Same with these. These are also shiny. Shiny boys. As far as the Batman comics that I really like, I do really love Frank Miller's The Dark Knight. Frank Miller would go on to be a weird right-wing freak that I'm not in agreement with his personal politics, and I think the quality of his work declines severely around that same time. But The Dark Knight, I think, is still a really holds up as a great comic. And then there's the Grant Morrison run, which I've only read once because there is quite a lot of it. I would like to go back and reread that at some point. But that is definitely up there for me as well. Of course, The Killing Joke, Alan Moore, which is really more of a Joker story than, well, yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's both. It's a Joker story and a Batman story. That's definitely an all-time great as well, I would say. And then I've got some other ones in my list that I want to read at some point, like The Long Halloween. I have not read. I do have a copy of it, but I haven't read it yet. Oh, not both sides. Oh, it is both sides. Okay. Yeah, I haven't read that. I've heard that's incredible. Oh, Hush. I've read Hush before. That's a great Batman comic. It's like a 12-issue series. I have that in a single issue format. But yeah, a lot of good Batman stories out there. Okay. I have no idea what any of this stuff is for here. It feels like a lot of detail for stuff that's gonna get almost all covered up, but we'll see. Maybe there's like breakaway panels or something. Who knows? Who knows? So yeah, thanks for coming to my Batman TED Talk. I probably about exhausted my my ability to monologue about Batman here. You guys are probably like, finally, good, shut up. This goes right here. Yep. Okay. And this is the last piece. Okay, so there's bag number 1 in the books. Looking good so far. Let's see here. Scooch these extra pieces down. But yeah, the Batmobile, I mean, I love the design of the Batmobile, especially this one. It's really sick, but yeah, it's like the Batmobile is perhaps like the most, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Emblematic of the issue that I'm talking about, with like, you know, the problematic nature of this character. You know, it's a tank. I mean, like, this guy has a private tank and he uses it to fight crime. That's pretty antithetical to, you know, my personal politics. Not to get, you know, not to be getting political on Twitch or whatever, you know, but like, I mean, it is. It's like, it's just, this is, I don't love it, you know. But, you know, like I said, you gotta just suspend, you know, the world of comics is not the real world, and, you know, you can still enjoy this character, you know, as long as you're able to understand the distinction between the real world and these fictitious worlds that exist purely for entertainment purposes. these off. But this is a cool Batmobile, though. I really do enjoy the design of this one. This appears to be 10 studs wide, so it's going to be a little wider than a typical like Speed Champions set, which I mean, that does make sense. Like, it's a tank, right? Like I was saying, it's a tank. It's not a normal car, so I think it'll still be approximately scale with the other ones. I can't remember now off the top of my head, but I do have a memory of seeing that there was having a hard time talking today. There is going to be a future Speed Champions sets that are movie related. Like, I want to say they've announced a new version of the Back to the Future car, which is pretty tight because I never got the big one. Speed Champions leaks 2025. Movie cars. Maybe it's 2026. Releases and rumors. Yep, we got the DeLorean Time Machine, and then Lightning McQueen, yeah, from the Cars, Pixar Cars films. I've never seen those ones. I've seen a good amount of Pixar. Never have I watched Cars before, so maybe we'll give that a spin before that set comes out. That's going to be a pretty funny one. Nice little crossover for them. They got the Disney IP rights, so they can Pixar it up. But the DeLorean is cool. We'll definitely get that one. Get that one, and we'll do some sort of rewatch. There we go. That gear in place. Yeah, we'll do some sort of rewatch of Back to the Future whenever we build that, because it's been ages since I've seen it. But alright, so this is going to let you turn your wheels here, and more importantly, I think as the wheels spin, it's probably going to have like fire coming out of the back or something like that that turns, be my guess. But we're going to check our thing here, and it is working as intended, so we can move on for now. But yeah, that'll be fun. I hope these sets sell well. We've got you know, a good amount of the ones out so far. There is a Fast and the Furious set that we don't have yet. The that pink car. That's on the list. You know, we're always trolling for discounts, trying to get our discount game on, but okay. And then of course we've got our Nissan Skyline from Fast and the Furious that we never seem to roll. Maybe that'll be our next one here after we finish this one. We'll definitely get this finished up today, and then we'll roll. Possibly it'll be something that we can get started on kind of depends on what we roll, I think, will determine our course of action here at the end of this stream. Oops. Got studs on both sides of this clear guy here. It's pretty neat. Jumpers on the side here. Interesting. Build here. Don't know where this is gonna end up. I guess kind of by the sides of the cockpit. I don't know. Okay, so vent or like grill facing back. Closer to the outside here. And then more frames in front, and these are symmetrical. They have slots for the grate on both sides. Oh, oops. Oh no! Hold on, gotta fetch this real quick. Gotta untangle my headphones. Okay, everything's hunky-dory. We just had a little misfire there, no big deal. Okay, these are gonna go, I see right here, so on this jumper here. It's funny, so these studs are just like a spacer. It's not even quite touching, really. Very interesting. Okay. Boop. 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 So fold these back. So this is just how we're getting some of our shape here. Very cool. I'm always impressed by, I mean, this is not a Speed Champion set, nominally, but it is like, you know, the size and scale, and yeah, these size and scale of car sets, you know, the modern ones, they really are impressive in their ability to get these detailed shapes that are accurate to, you know, whether it's a movie car or a real world car, they do a good job of getting them going here. Okay, so we're starting to see some similarities here. We got our back wheel well, and this is going to be the beginning of the front wheel well. So we're starting to see the shape, the final shape here. Got a little bit of Technic action here. See what this is going to be all about. crank on the end here so that we can move this, presumably. Where is it? Maybe there's a piece here when we had our little explosion earlier. It's possible. Nope, nope, they're just on the tray. Okay. My bad. Alright. Just maybe flip up guns or something like that. I think it does have some sort of gun on it. I mean, Batman really, like, you know, one of the things they always say about this character is he's not supposed to use guns, but I think, yeah, that's definitely, it's cool. Roll them back. Okay. Rolling them back here. You got it. It's funny, though, because very early versions of the Batman character, he uses a gun. And not only does he just, like, wield it, like, he shoots it. He shoots people and, like, throws them off of buildings and stuff. The, like, Batman doesn't kill people thing is, like, not a part of the character at the beginning. Like, back in the 1930s. I think it's a welcome addition to the character. I think it makes him a little more interesting that he's like, you know, it explains why characters like the Joker continue to plague Gotham. It's like, you know. Alright, so this is able to connect to this and this because of these anti-studs. Yep. Very good. Okay. This on here. And this on here. These. Not there. Okay. That's the end of bag number 2. Yep, sure is. All right. Oops. Drip coffee on my pants. These pants are kind of on their last legs anyway, to be honest. Of course, I only had 2 to begin with, but I'm sorry. That was dumb. Oops. Made a joke so stupid I almost distracted myself into leaving parts in the bag. Alright. Oops. Settle down now. Alright, now we're getting into the color palette of the outside of the vehicle here, so makes sense. Some headlights here. Yeah, you can see them on the front there. Oh, where's this little snub-nosed feller? There we go. Right there. There. Oh yeah, we're pulling mad shapes on this one. Mad shapes. Cool. Okay, here we go. 4 of these guys. Nope. Not that one. These guys. Here's the last one. Reveal yourself to me. There we go. Drop some studs down in the back so we can build the back of the wheel well here. Yep. The same pattern, the inside of the wheel well. Flip it. And building up the shape of this front bumper. And we are ready to deposit it thusly. There we go. Okay. Very cool. So that's about the total length of the car now is in place. Get our makeshift axle on here. Okay. Nice little wheel well up at the front here for making that iconic cylinder shape in the front here. Cool. Okay. Got our wheel well here. Here's our guy. What is this going to be? Oh, I missed a thing here. Yeah, there we go. All right. Was I just supposed to attach that when I attach those other two? Yep. Got it, got it, got it. Okay. Back here. Where is this? Where is this guy? Oh, it's gray, not black. That helps. It helps to find things, certainly. We got our block here, the 2/3 brick. A little more bright color here, so not quite into the all black everything vibe yet. Hey, Maiku. Yeah, this one has quite a lot. All those, like, the bright baby blue, the yellow, the red, the orange. They definitely squeeze it in there. Pretty fun. Gives you a little variety. I built this wrong too. This is supposed to be here, I think. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it does help break up the feel of the build a little bit. I think they would probably feel a little more drab. I know they have their pragmatic reasons for doing it too, like based on their production numbers and stuff, but yeah. Agreed, 100%. Whoops. Go. Right. Yeah, I have a feeling the last bag is going to be pretty monochromatic, but I like the good amount of yellow we've got on here because yellow just feels like it is the secondary color to this era of Batman. I mean, looking at the final build, there's really not any visible yellow, but yellow in the crest as an accent color on his uniform just makes it feel like there should be like yellow highlights on stuff. Okay, there we go. Some little greebling on the outside here. Stack these up. Okay. Like so. Come on. There we go. Let's see. Oops. Almost broke something off there. This guy. These little curved sections. Leaving a little gap for these guns to pop up would be my guess as to why these are here instead of the more traditional L tile. Still got plenty of clearance for these guys. Some more intake vents. Gotta have intake vents. Okay. Yeah, the look is really starting to come together here. We got a lot of little pieces left. Might be doing some intense greebling here. Okay, out of the back we got some binoculars here as little exhaust pipes. That's pretty cool. And got some things to drop down here to hold them in place, I'm guessing. I put a little bracing on the top of them so that they're not so fragile. Yep. Pretty much perfectly sits on top of them there. Very cool. Okay. There we go. All right, now we got these guys. This feels like it could almost be a piece exclusive to this set. I'm really, like, I'm not sure. But, oops, I just knocked part of our wheel well off here. Our wheel well. Okay. This connects here and here. Okay. Very cool. Brake lights, safety first. Don't want to get this thing rear-ended. I can't imagine he's got an insurance carrier to cover this vehicle, so you really do want to let the other drivers know when you're slamming on the brakes here. So he's got these good brake lights on there. That's good. And then what do we got here? Some sweet fins. Yeah. This era of Batman loves putting fins on stuff. Yeah, here we go. Look at those. Webbed like a bat's wing, you know what I'm saying? These are going to have a technical and a stud sticking out of the back here, so lots of attachment options. We'll see how we get these guys on here. Just gonna drop them right here. Okay, right above our brake lights. Yeah, iconic. Iconic. Sick. All right, 2 of these. Top of the front wheel wells, I'm guessing. Yomp. 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 Okay. There we go. 1 and 2. Oh no. Not the other wheel well, part of this wheel well. Okay, so these are going to sit right here, so right along the top of these. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. That is satisfying. Pew. Kind of hard to see probably on camera all of the black, but that looks nice. Looking nice. And then we got these guys right here. Just a little bit of greebling left in this here bag. So we get the back of this guy all done and dusted. Yep. Just like that. Just like that. feature knob. This one you're talking about, it does feel like it's gonna be a little bit of an eyesore sticking out here. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, I get on a set like this, of this size and this price point, you've got to prioritize play features because, you know, it is still a toy at the end of the day. But yeah, it would have been nice if they would have been able to get that a little more discreet. Man, feels like we've still got a long way to go here for one more bag. This is going to be fun watching this come together. Piece count on this set is relatively low too. It's like 400 and something. 438. Honestly, pretty crazy that it's that few of elements. All right, we got our minifigure here. Mr. Jack Nicholson. Very cool. Heath Ledger absolutely deserves all of his praise for his turn as his character, but I love the Jack Nicholson Joker as well. Very cool interpretation of the character. Jack Nicholson, a great performer. I just went and saw One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with my dad. They're having like 50th anniversary screenings here. Oh, did I skip the page or is that just... Oh, we're just in it. Okay. Well, there you go. This will help complete a lot of the look right here. But yeah, one Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I'd never seen that one before. Nice Jack Nicholson performance. It's pretty fun. I mean, the movie, it's deeply sad, but you know, that's my kind of movie. I like the sad stuff. Oh yeah, see, it's crazy. Just even adding these panels here is it really you feel like we're a lot closer to being done than we did a second ago. We got more of these guys here. Cool. Yeah, I've got a good little... I guess I should feel like I know where these are going, but yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're cooking. There's a little gap in there. It's kind of funny. But yeah, that's looking nice. When was I supposed to put those on? Back when I put those guys on? Okay. No big deal. Yeah, the new version of the tumbler is so close to the previous one that I haven't decided if, you know, I'm going to have to probably find a really good deal on that before I can justify picking it up. But I've got the animated series one on deck to do at some point, and we'll have a nice little collection of Batmobiles to display with each other. Decal time here. Decal number 3. Let's see. Yeah. Speedometer dials at the top. There we go. Maybe because it's curved piece, we should apply this edge first to the bottom, since the spacing is going to be more important than the depth here. Let's try that one more time. That's looking pretty good. Okay, there we go. Looks pretty good there, I think. Yeah, it stinks when it's like that's really all you're looking for is just a minifigure. But then, you know, any minifigure that ends up being really like desired. What? These cover this up? That doesn't make any sense. What? You gotta remove these to get our guns out here? That's very strange. Don't shoot anyone's eye. Huh. Alright, I guess we'll see how this works in a little bit. But yeah, the minifigures that are just like chilling in sets where it's like people don't care as much about the actual build can sometimes end up being pretty pricey. This at least is not like a crazy expensive set like a Ultimate Collector Series one or whatever, but we'll see. I mean, I've gotten pretty lucky at finding stuff at pretty deep discounts, so we'll keep an eye open for it, but if we end up missing it, it'll be all right. Oh, nice topping off our little vent action here. Cool. Okay. The shape of this thing is really coming together. She slopes here. It'd be cool if they did this scale of the Adam West Batmobile too. I mean, they did, I think, a few years ago. I ended up missing that one. Now I'm remembering. Now I remember. Missed my opportunity, maybe. Probably because I was waiting to try to get it at a discount. Tut tut. That's my own dang choice. I don't have a much connection to the Adam West Batman. I have watched the movie, but I've never really watched any of the show. It's very silly. Very silly. I mean, I like some amount of camp to my Batman stuff, but like the Adam West one is so over the top goofy that it's like, I don't know, it's never really super resonated for me. Oh, I missed some stuff here. I don't know when I missed these, but get them in there now. But it would be cool to have for the display with the other ones here. Swing by some shops in my area that carry secondhand Lego stuff and see if any of them have that Batmobile available at a somewhat reasonable price. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've seen some MOCs of Batman that are really awesome. I know that the Technic version of the Robert Pattinson Batmobile, I saw someone had a version, that used those pieces to make the 1989 Batmobile, and it looked awesome. And yeah, I don't have the large scale of this one either. That would be an awesome one to pick up at some point. I did just get the animated series one, I think, to qualify for a gift with purchase or something on the Lego site. Because that one retires at the end of the year, the animated one. So, keep an eye out for sales and stuff for that one, because it's weird. Like, it feels like that one just came out, but it's on the list for retiring at the end of the year already. It's kind of crazy. All right, get this cone on here and cover up these. That orange piece. There we go. Flames sticking out of the back here. Awesome. And then, yeah, the flame will turn as it rolls. That's sick. That's sick. Oh, definitely skipped a page there. Okay. Go. All right, home stretch now. Nice. So this doesn't have a mechanism or anything. Okay, it just sits on there and you can remove it. Put Batsy inside there. And then, alright, we got two different sizes of wheels here. These middle pieces are all the same, yeah? No, they're not. These ones get these guys. All right. And let's see, wants this to be the outside. Okay. We can oblige them that. Yeah, I do have the large scale of the Batwing, which I was pretty jazzed to get. Cool vehicle here. So I've got the big and small versions of that, but yeah, I would love to get the the big collector's version of this guy. Would be really sick. These are definitely my favorite Batman movies. No disrespect to the Chris Nolan ones, which are awesome as well, but I love these ones. No, I did not get the Shadow box set. That was a tough one to give up. I saw that it was like getting close to retiring, and I like hemmed and hawed about picking it up. One of the big reasons I wanted it was because it had this. I know the build is a little different from this Batmobile, but yeah, that was like, I did want it, and I think like it looked like a cool set, but it looked really hard to display. I mean, I just have a lot of stuff already up in my house, so I kind of have to pick and choose. But all right. So yeah, you pop off the lid to get Batman inside here. Very cool. This trunk opens and we can store some bat equipment in here. Bump, bump, bump. Pretty secure in there. But yeah, I did want the shadow box. It was just you know, have to make your choices. Oh wow, that's really cool. I'd love to see that. Do you have videos for that up on your channel? I should go check that out. Okay, so you straight up do have to pop these panels off. Okay, they can pop off from this flipping up. That's kind of cool. A little silly. I'll have to stop by your channel and see if there's any, if those videos are available. This is kind of sweet. Pop off like that. I mean, it does help the look of it, because if they were just like open like this, that would be kind of crummy. But that's neat. And yeah, this knob is definitely a bit of an eyesore. That's why all the pictures are from the you got all your photos are from this angle here. But pretty cool build. I like their way of getting the shape of these little elements in there is pretty nice, and the turning fire while it rolls is a nice little touch too. Pretty sweet. All right. Okay. We're going to roll our theme music here to end the YouTube video, and then we'll roll and see what we're building next. I've still got like 45 more minutes to stream, so maybe we'll get started on something. Let me see here. All right. Video outro. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for hanging, and stick around on the stream. We'll see what we're building next here. Woo! All right.